everybody, it's Sally from Sallystampers. Thank you for joining me today. Today is something a little bit different. I'm bringing you a fancy fold card. This is my fancy fold cup of tea. I guess obviously most of my videos, if not all, are predominantly boxes, bags, things like that. But a lot of people say that if they are beginners in card making, they don't really know where to start. And although I originally posted cards on my blog, it doesn't really give instructions or measurements. Granted, this is a fancy fold, but the base here is the same as a basic card. So when you start with an A4 sheet, and I'm just going to grab this one that I've got to hand here. You start with an A4 sheet of cardstock. To make a tent fold card, I don't have one to hand, or do I? Yes, I do, here. So my lovely card from my lovely Halsey. So tent fold is when it folds this way. I generally make my cards that way, so they will be tent fold. So to do that, you would score in half and cut in half, and then you get two card bases, if you like. To do them the way my friend Halsey has done them, slim and stylish, to get them this way, so if you want to do them long ways, you would score down the long edge and cut in half across the smaller edge. But that would also work if you wanted to do book fold. Okay, so tent fold is like a tent and book fold is like a book. Okay, right, covered that basics. Next thing is when I do layers. So as you can see, I've got this small layer of DSP. It is generally, and I only work in centimetres with cards, I don't work with inches. It's half a centimetre less all the way round. So I would have my base, and this is half of a base. So again, cut in half and cut in half, and it's a base. So it will still fit in a standard envelope. So my card base for this is 10.5 centimetres by 14.9, and then my layer of DSP is 10 by 14.4, and that is my general rule of thumb with everything. So all of these are half a centimetre shorter and narrower. So I'm going to show you the card, which I forgot to do, and it just simply opens out like this. So it's just a little bit different. I haven't put anything on the back here, but of course if you wanted to add some more DSP you could. But yeah, it's just a nice simple card. Like I said, it will fit in standard envelope. You could also just fill this with die cuts and patterns, and then add a layer of basic white on the back to write on, whichever you wanted to do. So I'm going to show you how to make it. Again, using the Tea Boutique DSP and the Cup of Tea stamp and teacup dies. I've gone with this colour combo this time, so I have Petal Pink. So as I said to you, my base is 10.5 by 14.9. My DSP is half a centimetre shorter and narrower, so it's 10 by 14.4. And then I will just lie this on here. And as you can see there, we automatically have a nice border around that DSP. Then to make your little concertina front, you need a piece of basic white that is 12.4 by 24 centimetres. Can't use that because it doesn't have centimetres on it. And I haven't got my other one, so I'm going to use my trimmer. So you need your, as I say, your piece of basic white, 12.4 by 24. On the long side, we're going to score at 8 centimetres. And then I'm going to flip the card over and score at 16. And that is my concertina part. So I'm going to fold that one this way and burnish, and then this one folds in this way and burnish. So you now have your concertina card. then you need to add your DSP and your layers. So my insert here for the middle is the same as my card for the front. Okay, and these are 11.9 by 7.5. So we're going to add these on. So that's going in the centre just there. And again, as you can see, we've got that nice panel around the edge. And then my my petal pink, sorry, is going on the front here, like so. And then I'm going to stamp on this part first. So I'm not going to stamp in petal pink because I think it is really quite faint, but I'm going to pick out the sweet sorbet out of these flowers. You could also use any of the green, so it's Parakeet Party and Garden Green on here. I can't recall what the yellow is off the top of my head, maybe Crushed Curry. So I'm going into my cup of tea stamp, this lovely long thank you for your friendship. And I'm literally just going to drop it on because I want it to stay straight. And then again, if you want to line yours up, then feel free. So I'm going to stamp that on there and then pop that away, because then the next thing I want is this little flower here. So I'm going to stamp my little flower like so. Pop that away. Pop that away for a second. And then this now can be adhered onto here. So adhesive on, come on, play the game, thank you. So this now gets adhered, and if you fold it up, obviously it stays, so you're not fighting with it. And then this sits in the centre. Make sure you've lined it up and press it down, and you automatically then have your pretty card. And then you just need to do your decoration. So I have a basic white panel here that is 11 point, wait. This one is 7 by, 11.4. And I'm just going to stamp my images on here. So back in with cup of tea, and I'm going to do the same as I did on that previous card. So I have that one, and I need these. Be careful when you pull these off because you could tear the photopolymer, so do it quite gently. So I have that one, and I need that little one there, and then I'll come back for the thank you. So Garden Green or Parakeet Party? What do we think? I think I'm going to go Garden Green. I'm going to be brave. So Garden Green. So I literally stamped the bottom on there, spun it round and stamped the same again like that, and then I just used the edges just to fill in like that. So I'm just I'm sort of curving the stamp a little bit to add direction to those leaves. So that's that one done. I then used the little single stamp here to just kind of add some loose ones, if you like, around the edges. It's almost as if they're blowing in the wind. That was my idea anyway. Okay, so that's that bit done. Then I need a separate bit of basic white here for my flowers that I'm going to die cut. Oops. So back in with the sweet sorbet, because again I think the petal pink will get lost in the greens. So give those a stamp, and actually, and while I'm here, I am going to take that little one off there and stamp my thank you sentiment just down here in the corner. Get that done, and I can put my ink away. Put that away. Okay, so let's just cut that there. Pop those just to one side for a second. My little mini boss here, and then I've got my teacup dies. And it's this lovely one here. Pop that one on there. Line them up as best you can and run it through. And then just slide those off there, and then repeat again with the next one. So just line it up as best you can. And what I like about this as well is that the front that I'm using for the card you can always use to decorate a lid. I quite often get my inspiration from cards that are in the Stampin' Up! Catalogue, and I think that would make a really pretty lid for a box. So if you imagine that on a box, that part on the lid of a box, I think that would look really pretty. Okay, so back in with my flowers here. So my large ones here I'm sticking on with mini dimensionals. And then, oops, then these little ones are going on with glue dots, and they just about fit onto the glue dots. Just work your way along. And I find it quicker to do it this way than to sort of stick one, get the glue dot, stick one, get the glue dot, because you can just do this, tear off up to where you are, and now they're ready to be stuck on. So I bring my little green piece back here. Now I wanted to know whereabouts to pop my flowers, because I don't just want to stick them randomly. So I brought back in my die cut and I just popped it over the top of the green part, if you like. Now they don't have to be exact, but I know from just looking at that these two go at the top like this. And then you'll also notice that you have two kind of widely spaced leaves and one not so wide. So the not so wide, in my opinion, will go down here, and then the other two will go, one can go there, and the other one can go down here. So you see what I mean about how having them on here makes it a little bit easier. So back in again now, I've rotated, I know where these larger ones go, so I can pop those on. So they go like so. Again, the little smaller one goes there. And again, I've just sort of remembered now from the die cut, but from the die itself. But you see how much easier they are to place once you've used your die cut to get the idea. So that's done. I can now adhere this to my card here. So that can now be adhered onto that panel. If you're using wet glue, hold it really tightly while you're smoothing it, because the amount of times I've done this and sent the blooming card wonky and twisted it because I've been smoothing it around and not noticed that it's just moved all over the place. Okay, so the last thing then is this little sentiment. Grab my trimmer, and I'm not measuring this, I'm just trimming it by eye as to how I want it, which is like so. And then I have some petal pink here. So again, if you want to measure it, go ahead. I don't. I'm obviously a bit more used to doing this, so I do it by eye. I stick it on, making sure these two edges are equal, and then I just get my scissors and eyeball this part here. To be in the same, as I say, I've done it enough times now to have a fair idea, but you can measure it, and the same principle applies. The half centimetre or 1/4 inch, did I say ½ inch earlier? Half centimetre, 1/4 inch is basically how I go with my, yeah, because the weird thing is when I'm doing boxes, my layers will be done in inches. Very strange, I don't know why I do it that way, but it's just the way I do. And then this just gets stuck on with some dimensionals. Now obviously if you want to add gems or pearls or rhinestones or anything like that, you can do, but there they are. I think they're really pretty, and I would love to receive one of those. But there they are, my fancy fold cup of tea. Thank you for joining me. See you all again very soon.